The trade rumors are bubbling this morning between the New York Jets and the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll talk about those latest rumors. Plus, a Jets wide receiver put up a cryptic social media post. Oh boy, let's get into it.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
You're fucking
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for joining us this morning. Make sure you guys like the video and hit subscribe as soon as you come in for daily New York Jets content. And a special shout out to our Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. That is our YouTube membership group, which you can join as the pinned comment if you're watching live on the show on YouTube. It says join the Boy Green Coffee Club here. And you can become a supporter of the show, or you can do that in the YouTube description down below if you're watching after the fact to make sure you do so. Let's flip the switch. We are 103 members away from NYJ FL getting his emoji, so let's try to get that for him sooner rather than later. But let's get into this. There are some trade rumors between the New York Jets and the Kansas City Chiefs, and it all stems from the possibility, which I imagine is happening here very shortly. Somewhere in the next 48 hours, I believe Davante Adams will be a member of the Jets. And if that comes to fruition, as so many have speculated that it will, then it appears that the Kansas City Chiefs will be calling the New York Jets. Adam Schefter of ESPN said this, quote, the Chiefs could reach out to inquire whether New York would have any interest in moving one of its other wide receivers, according to league sources, end quote. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport added another layer to that, saying the Chiefs, quote, may eventually turn to the trade market for a wide receiver, end quote, if Rashee Rice is out for the season. It looks like he will be. And more from Rappaport. If Kansas City dips his toes into those waters, Rappaport said the focus of the team will be, quote, landing players without massive base salaries. So they'd be looking for a wide receiver, and they'd be looking for a wide receiver with a smaller base salary. And technically speaking, the Jets have 3 wide receivers that fit that category, and no, Garrett Wilson isn't being moved, you crazy Chiefs people. So 3 receivers meet that qualification. That is not Garrett Wilson. That is Xavier Gipson, who makes $915,000 this year in base salary. Malachi Corley, who makes $795,000 in base salary. And Mike Williams, who makes $1.25 million. That is it for the base salaries. Adam Schefter, when he talked about over the weekend the Jets' quote-unquote assets to make a Davante Adams trade, he talked about the Jets having an extra third. That was the Lions trade in April's draft, and an extra 6th. That's actually, ironically enough, the Chiefs trade. That did the Mecole Hardman swap-a-rooney. But he also mentioned Mike Williams because of the ties to Raiders general manager Tom Telesco, who, quote, drafted and then extended Williams during his time as the Chargers general manager, end quote. CBS NFL insider Jonathan Jones said Mike Williams is, quote, the most likely candidate to be traded, end quote, if the Jets land Davante Adams. So it seems like a wide receiver could be on the move. I agree with Molon here, who immediately says, why the hell would we help the Chiefs? No idea why we would want to help the Chiefs, but just that the Chiefs would be interested. Now, here's one to keep an eye out for that is somewhat whatever the word you want to use is. We had a cryptic social media post from Malachi Corley. So Malachi Corley was a healthy scratch. He was one of the inactives for the game. And shortly after it was announced that he was inactive for the game, Malachi Corley took to Instagram. Here's what Malachi Corley said. He reshared a quote on his Instagram story, and I will read it to you right now. This is from Malachi Corley as soon as he found out he wasn't playing in London. Rock. The best thing about rock bottom is the rock part. You discover the solid bit of you, the bit that can't be broken down further, the thing that you might sentimentally call a soul. At our lowest, we find the solid ground of a foundation, and we can build ourselves anew, end quote. I just have to say, first off, that seems a little overdramatic. I mean, we're 5 games into the season, and I get Corley hasn't been playing, but, like, He was a third-round pick, man. I mean, it's not like he was a first-round pick. He was a third-round pick that hasn't played yet. And yeah, Garrett Wilson's above him. Mike Williams, Allen Lazard. Like, it just seems a little over-dramatic to be quoting this. Again, I'll read it one more time. Rock, the best thing about rock bottom, after 5 weeks, you've appeared in 3 of the 5 games. Now, you haven't played a lot, granted. I'll give that to you. Malachi Corley, he's only appeared in 2 offensive snaps, and he's only appeared in 1 snap on special teams. So, like, he's non-existent. There's no question about it. I agree with that part, but what are we talking about, Malachi? That does... Now, the other interesting thing is when Malachi Corley was a healthy scratch, Ian Rappaport, noted it on social media. Like, whoa, look at this. It seems weird. Why would he note that? Like, Corley hasn't done anything all year. He's a third-round pick. I don't understand. Which leads me to believe that maybe that's the guy that could be moved. I don't know. Maybe Malachi Corley is going to be the guy, which would be kind of sad, to be honest, because the Jets were so high on this kid in April's draft. They were trying aggressively to trade up for him, and they did ultimately. They traded to the first pick of the 3rd round, traded up for him, but they're trying to trade into the middle of the 2nd round to get him. There's a lot of hubbub, a lot of hype. The team really loved him. And a few months later, all of a sudden, he's not getting on the field, which is what it is. But, now we're getting, rock bottom quotes after 5 weeks of the season from not playing. That just seems odd. So I'd prefer, in a perfect world, quite frankly, to keep him. If the Raiders want somebody, or the Chiefs, or one of these other teams, if you acquire Adams, you got to move another piece. Like Xavier Gibson is available in aisle 4. He had a nice return, against the Vikings. But, if you're saying, hey, you want Davante Adams, okay, let's get expendable here. But, Xavier Gibson, sure. Even Mike Williams, I kind of want to keep, to be honest with you. I don't want to trade away Mike Williams, but, I don't know. So maybe Malachi Corley is the one to circle. For me, it'd be Xavier Gibson. Let's kind of grab our Sharpies out, go right around Xavier Gibson. But apparently it could be Malachi Corley potentially as the guy. If you start reading some of the tea leaves here, Chiefs interested in Jets potential receivers with low base salaries. Those 3 I mentioned. Maybe Corley's the guy. Maybe he was a healthy scratch for a reason, although he's been a healthy scratch before. This isn't the first time. But very, very, very interesting here on that. And I reiterate, I go back to the top. Davante Adams is going to be a Jet, baby. I feel it in my plums. He is going to be a New York Jet, and it is going to be a big help. A big help. Because Allen Lazard, for the touchdown he has and the good plays he has too many bad plays, man. Too many drops. Too many times Aaron Rodgers hit him right in the mids and the ball hit the turf. Absolutely not good enough. Not good enough. Now, Allen Lazard wasn't the only issue. That's not what I'm trying to paint. Pass protection wasn't good enough. The Jets continue to start slow, which just is pissing me off. I hate that they they throw kerosene and gasoline all over the first quarter and light it on fire, and then they play with 3 quarters, and every other team in the NFL plays with 4. I mean, it's just dumb. And by the way, to Shadow Realm's point, who jumps in here, we appreciate you, Shadow Realm. I just reshared a clip from Brian Baldinger, and I'll throw it up here on the screen. We're like, what is going on with the Jets' run game? They're averaging 2.6 yards per carry. Like, is Brees broken? What's happening there? And I'm just going to show you the clip that Brian Baldinger had. Here, let me throw it up on the screen. Talking about some of the run blocking issues for the New York Jets, okay? So you're seeing the screen right now. I'm just going to scroll down. We don't need the... that's Inception. We don't need the audio here, but just watch this, okay? So we're watching this screen with Brian Baldinger breaking down tape. He's talking right now, providing commentary on how this is supposed to be blocked. Now, watch what happens here, okay? We get an unnecessary double team, which opens it up right there. You see Ivan Pace right here, number 0. He is running untouched into the backfield. He is stumbling oh my God, can you believe this? They didn't block me as he's running into it. John Simpson and Joe Tippmann block him. You got the double team on the outside. You got AVT one-on-one with Harrison Phillips. You got the double team inside for no apparent reason. And Ivan Pace slams Brees Hall immediately in the backfield for a huge TFL. This was was, I believe, if I remember correctly, a second and short play, and immediately now it's third and medium or unnecessary. So if we're run blocking like that, Keith Carter, what the hell is going on here, man? I mean, honestly, what the hell? What are we talking about here? Look at that. What are you doing, Keith Carter? I mean, there's a lot of people who didn't want Keith Carter from the get-go anyway. But what is going on here? Why is this being taught? What is happening? This is just one random play during the game, but I just don't understand. Why are we double teaming this guy? And clearly, Ivan Pace is like stumbling into the backfield with how like to get into the backfield to give this TFL to Breece Hall. I don't understand, man. I don't understand. So yeah, Keith Carter, you boy, not great, not great. So yeah, so there's a lot of issues. Coaching's an issue. The play calling, again, 4th and 2. The Jets go for it instead of kicking a easy field goal, which would have completely changed the end of the game, taken points. You were down 2 scores already. You were down 10-0. Why not go for the field goal, make it a 1-score game? That seems bizarre. Quite bizarre. So there's just a lot of issues with this team. But I think that Davante Adams can fix a lot, to be honest with you, because he's not going to drop the ball like Allen Lazard was. Absolutely not. He's not going to. He's going to catch passes. He's going to open up things for G-Dub Garrett Wilson, who's coming off a career game. It was terrific. But Davante Adams being inserted will open up a lot. It's not going to fix every issue. I'm not saying that. But boy, it's going to fix some offensive issues. That's for damn sure. The defense is playing lights out. It's hard to criticize anything on the defense. They held the Vikings to basically, 13 points? Because pick 6 wasn't their fault, obviously. And then another turnover was right in the red zone, or at opposing territory, rather. So the field goal was like automatic, so there's really nothing they could do there. So really, they gave up 13 points. That should be more than good enough to win. I saw the stat from Football Night in America last night. The Jets, for the 3rd time this season, scored fewer than 20 points. And obviously, we know the record the Jets have. They're 2-3. We were supposed to have those days over, man. We were supposed to have those days over. The days over of the Zach Wilson excuse, as Richard Todd says. Richard Todd 14. Of like, the offense holding them back. We have Aaron Rodgers, a 4-time NFL MVP. We're not supposed to be scoring fewer than 20 points. We've got all this skill talent all over the place. Come on, man. So, we will certainly. I'm ready for the emergency pod to talk about Davante Adams becoming a Jet. That's really enticing. That's really exciting. And hopefully that happens here in the next 24, 48 hours, sooner rather than later. The Raiders have already played. The Jets have played. Let's try to get it done today. The Saints play on Monday Night Football tonight. Apparently, they've been the most aggressive in Davante Adams trade talks. Allow them to focus on the Chiefs, speaking of the Chiefs, and let's just go get Davante Adams today. What is stopping that? Let's bang that out right now. Let's get that figured out, and let's make it happen. Richard Todd 14 says, please do not trade for Adams. Save the picks for the new GM and head coach. Absolutely not. This season isn't over, people. This season isn't over. I have questions about the coaching staff, obviously, but it's not over. You're playing for first place a week from today on Monday Night Football against the Buffalo Bills. Like, whoa. Like, let's calm down. This season can still be saved. It's not over. If some of you are feeling that way, then I can't help you. I can't help you. It's not over. And no one's getting fired. I saw all the firing, posts and things earlier. That's not happening. But they're 2-3. They're playing for first place a week from today, for God's sakes, people. What are we talking about here? There is plenty of opportunity. There's plenty of meat still on the bone, despite everything that's happened so far. Josh Allen's brain got rattled. Did you see that concussion that they say was like more an ankle? Like, Buffalo has lost 2 in a row. The Jets have lost 2 in a row. We've beaten the Buffalo Bills 2 straight times at home. And Dakota's saying it's going to be a bloodbath, and he believes the Jets are going to get their teeth kicked in. We'll see. We'll see, Dakota. I don't believe it. I believe the Jets are going to win this game on Monday Night Football. Our number one Austrian Jets fan says, we still in it. Jet up, baby. The juicy super chat. We appreciate every super chat. We hear from my daughter, Zariah Luna.
Wow.
Damn straight we are. We could be in our feels, losing a game we shouldn't have to the Vikings, putting ourselves in a hole when we shouldn't have. The inept coaching at different levels, the drops, the penalties, the mistakes. You guys can be in your feels. We're allowed to have, 24 hours of emotion or whatever the coaches used to say. But come on now. Come on now. It's not over yet. It's not over at all. Alan says, why would the Raiders trade Adams to us and not get a haul? If they take a measly third, then their GM should be canned. Because they're not in a position of power. Davante Adams has publicly let it be known that he is not happy there. So other NFL teams know he's getting moved. And so it is what it is. They're not getting a quote-unquote haul. When they originally acquired him, they gave up a first and a second. It's unlikely they get neither of those things. Albert Breer, SI Insider, says it's going to be a 3 or a 4. So this 2 business, it doesn't sound like it. So call it a measly third all you want, Alan, but sure sounds like that's going to be the price. But either way, I'd like to get this hammered out sooner rather than later. Let's get him ready for the game. Dalt says, I'm going to be surprised if Josh Allen plays next Monday. We'll see. I'd rather him play because I want to beat the Buffalo Bills with a wrench while he's good to go. But yeah, it looked like Josh Allen got knocked out. Like he got slammed down to the ground and his brain looked like it turned off. It was disturbing. And he somehow came back into the game. Unbelievable. Let's see. Let's go to David Aaron here. BG, what would be the Jets' record, or how badly do the Jets have to look for you to say we need something new on the coaching staff? I'm not saying we don't need something new on the coaching staff. I'm just saying a change is not happening. Like, for instance, when people like to say, Woody should leave. Okay. You can have that opinion, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen. So to me, that's a little bit of wasted breath to talk about Woody selling the team or doing this or that, because it's just not going to happen. So how badly do the Jets have to be? They have to not be competing for first place in the division in their next game for me to say, let's fire everybody and let's let blood, flow in the streets. Let's say they lose. So they're 2-3 right now. If they lose to Buffalo, they're 2-4. That's a bad place to be, of like some sort of a change, maybe. Whether that's Keith Carter or somebody else, I don't know what the decision is. It probably isn't Saleh. Again, it's too early in the season. It's probably not Hackett. He's best friends with Aaron Rodgers. Keith Carter, maybe there's a Keith Carter sacrifice. The Jets lose to the Bills, and we're like, you know what? Someone's head needs to roll. To Quincy Williams' point, I deleted the video, or I played again. Accountability. Maybe that's where it happens, where you're 2-4, depending on how you look against Buffalo. But like, there has to be a sense of urgency here. Like, the Jets have stumbled into this first place on the line. It's not as if the Jets are 4-1 and they've set themselves up for this first place battle in the AFC East on Monday Night Football. They've backed into it. They backdoored it. That's how it happened. The Jets have lost a couple, but the Bills have lost a couple. You're like, oh, wow, that kind of worked out. Okay, cool. We got first place now. So there needs to be a sense of urgency from this team to say, whoa, guys, what the hell are we doing here? We need to attack this thing. We need to change. We need to make changes inside the building. But to me, I'm not saying we don't need something new. I agree we do, but it's just not happening through the first 5 weeks of the season. Now, we lose to Buffalo next Monday night, a week from today. Whoa, okay. We're 2-4, and we're going in the wrong direction. Maybe that's a conversation to have. For sure. Danny in real life. On Monday, my thoughts are Jets beat Bills. Whoa. Wow, okay. Speaking of in the fields, Danny's in his fields after that Texans game. I watched the highlights from that. Oh, boy. What the hell were the Buffalo Bills doing at the end of that game? I know Texans had timeouts, but like all those incomplete passes, they set up the Texans to win that game, and they certainly did. What was going on in Buffalo land? That was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But Danny, who's a diehard Bills fan on Twitter, is saying the Jets are going to beat the Buffalo Bills. I will be honest, Danny. Let me give you a spoiler alert. Your thoughts will certainly change by the time we get to Monday Night Football. It's a stinging loss. I feel you. We've had 2 of those in a row. to Denver, which was disgusting, and then Vikings, which they're a really good team. But, I don't want any moral cookies here. Goose McGee, was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? My dad loves using that quote, by the way. Animal House. I love that. Yes, but they're also not getting a haul, to what Ricky in New York said, because of the contracts as well. Dalt gives his YouTube member super chat. Zarylota.
Wow.
Replace Adams with Lazard in that game and we win. I am. In the Denver game, we win with Davante Adams. At the end of that game, when Aaron Rodgers is trying to connect with one of his receivers, Xavier Gibson and even Garrett Wilson, who we love. Davante Adams in that game, we win that one too. And instead of being this 2-3, we're 4-1. So that's also why I want to get Davante Adams in ASAP. Again, he knows the offense with Hackett. He has the relationship with Aaron. But, let's get him in earlier in the week rather than later. Let's get ready for this Monday Night Football game. He's going to be on the Jets. Let's get him here ASAP. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm all for it. Let's get him in. And I know what you meant. You meant the other way around. Not like, oh, boy, if we didn't have Adams, we'd have Lazard. No, I got what you're saying. I know what you meant. But, yes, I agree. The last two games, I'd even push your super chat even further. I'd say even further we could have. And, yeah, that was painful. Shadow Realm here. Sauce needs to wake the F up. Not getting paid, dropping those gimme interceptions. I mean, right in the breadbasket, that's another game-changing play. The ball falls right in his universe, and Sauce after the game was like, maybe I shouldn't have let it come to me. Maybe I should have just grabbed it. I don't know, man. You got to catch these passes. We've had so many excuses. Like I hate this because Woody loves being right, but Woody before the season said PS2, Patrick Surtain II is the best corner of football. I said, no, it's Sauce. And he explained why it's PS2. PS2 had a 100-yard pick six yesterday. He's making plays on the ball, man. Sauce Gardner, to be among the elite of the elite, you can't just be good in coverage. You have to create game-changing plays. That's what $25 to $30 million, whatever that new money would be for Sauce, that's what you're getting paid to do, is to make game-changing plays. And he's not even traveling. How many times has Tony Adams on Justin Jefferson, for Pete's sake? The Jets defense did a wonderful job in the second half, but in the first half, there's too many one-on-one opportunities where Tony Adams was forced to cover Justin Jefferson, which is a mismatch of epic proportions. What the hell? What are we doing here? So, Sauce, if you're not going to shadow, which we were told that was going to happen a lot more this season, which, I'll have to look at the numbers, but it certainly wasn't happening a lot in that Vikings game. He does need to wake up. He needs to make those plays. They're right friggin' there. I'm not asking for a one-handed pick in the back of the end zone. That'd be cool. But what about just the picks that are gift wrapped to you? That's what I said about, this is going to be a very weird comparison to make. Like Vernon Gholston, okay? I have his 56 jersey in my closet. Him having no sacks is like one of the most incredibly unbelievable feats in NFL history. How did you not accidentally stumble into one? You know what I mean? That he had zero. He was drafted and hired to be a sack artist, a pass rusher, and he couldn't even stumble into one. I'm going to use that same, again, that's a wild comp to make. I'm probably going to get lit up on social media for that if someone clips this. But, how does Sauce not stumble into a pick? He hasn't, think about this. He hasn't had a single interception since his rookie year. He didn't have any picks last year, and we're 5 games into the season and a whole lot of nothing, and boy, has he had chances. Come on, Sauce. Help out your team, man. We need something. We need something. Brutal. DJ Reed, by the way, he deserves my love. I said it yesterday. DJ Reed has been freaking balling out. Now, there were a couple penalties on him that I kind of looked sideways, went, But DJ Reed, man, he's been playing lights out, man. Johnny Football. How come Jets can't run the ball? Can Davante play card? Well, you just saw it from that random Brian Baldinger clip that John Simpson just blocked the wrong guy, which let a screaming Ivan Pace to run right into the backfield after Breece Hall. Breece Hall had no chance. He was met immediately upon getting the handoff. Now, I'm not saying Breece Hall's been great this year because obviously he has not. But obviously he's not getting help from the offensive line right now. I have no idea why the Jets can't run the ball, which is why Keith Carter, he needs to have a stern talking to or something because, like, that is not sustainable. We got to pass protect for Aaron Rodgers for the second straight week. It was shoddy. It was at least better than the Broncos game, but that's not saying much. It was a bloodbath in the Broncos game, but Aaron Rodgers got smacked all over the place, and thankfully he returned to the game. It didn't look like it. So run blocking is sucking. Pass protection isn't good enough. Like, come on, man. The Jets can't be this one-dimensional team. They ran it only 14 times yesterday for 2.6 yards per carry. The Jets said before the year that was going to be a strength. That was going to be the backbone of the team, is what the Jets said. Fat chance, buddy. It's not so far. It's not so far. They couldn't run it with Breece. They couldn't run it with Braylon yesterday. They couldn't run it with anybody. Disgusting. So, no, to your point, Davante cannot play guard from what I understand. But hopefully, the innate chemistry that's built with Aaron Rodgers will allow him to get rid of the ball ASAP as his hot read. Or if he is double teamed, then Garrett Wilson's your hot read either way, where all of a sudden you can get the ball out quicker. Dalt kind of says it here with a comment. I know Adams is over coaching issues, but it's a big piece of the puzzle. No doubt about it. And I think it will have ripple effects on the entire offense. Big Will jumps in to say the true problem is Hackett. Rodgers needs to allow the Jets to move on from him. Maybe Gruden can be a senior advisor to the OC. Yeah, that's going to be, as other people have said, that there's this thing in Rodgers' life. It's called The Island. It's in the book that, again, is behind this name thing on the screen. It's the Aaron Rodgers book. And in the book, Rodgers has this thing called The Island, where he sends people off that piss him off and he has a grudge against forever. Coaches have landed on that island before. So that would be Hackett landing on that island if frustration continues. And that is certainly possible because he's done it to other coaches. For sure. Another YouTube member shout out here.
Wow.
Stupid should hurt. I should crochet that one on a pillow. That'd look wonderful on the couch. Stupid should hurt. It does hurt. It does hurt. Going to be honest. Going through this on a day-to-day basis is quite painful. But again, what I always tell people, and they're like, how are you a Jets fan? And why are you? Why do you continue to be a Jets fan? Who gives a flying blank? I almost swore there. Who gives a flying blank the reason? Why do you remain? And I'm like, it's going to be worth it. We're going to go through these tough times, and eventually it's going to be worth it. It's going to pay off when we win the Super Bowl. So it is. It's going to turn around. When we win the Super Bowl, it's all going to be worth it, baby. The Meadowlands Swamp thing. Our problem as Jet fans is thinking that individual players can change organizational issues. I don't know if it could change them, but it could cover them up. It could put a little lipstick on a pig. It is what it is. The organization, the regime is what it is. The regime is not making some dramatic change in the middle of the season to an interim that is going to carry us to the Super Bowl. You have no other choice but to believe in this group and see if it can turn around, Meadowlands Swamp thing. That's the truth. I'm not saying that Davante Adams will fix every issue on the Jets because that is naive. But he's going to fix a lot of issues. He's going to fix a lot of issues because he is one of the best receivers in football. He has great chemistry with Aaron Rodgers. He already knows the offense. This is as plug and play as you can get, which is great because normally when you bring in some star receiver, I keep using the example of Amari Cooper. I like Amari Cooper a lot. I think he's one of the best route runners in the game. If he was dropped on this team, there'd be a learning process. He has no chemistry with Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't know the offense. So, as intriguing as he is as a player, damn, how many weeks is that going to take to kind of get familiar? You don't have to worry about that with Davante Adams. They know each other like the back of hands. So I think that part is great. And also, as Chris Cortez says, excuse Guatemalan, because we're fucking loyal. I'm in it, man. I am committed. I'm not wishy-washy. Every day. I mean, obviously, you see me right now. It's a Monday. The Jets lost. I'm wearing my Jets gear to work. I wear my Jets gear every single day, baby. But hey, different strokes, different folks. All right, let's open up the phone lines. Let's do it, baby. Let's absolutely open up the phone lines. And before we do, we'll get some positive juices flowing. What about a hep song call? That'll be nice. Let's go.
Boy Green daily, Boy Green daily, Boy Green daily. Talking just football, man. Boy Green daily, Boy Green daily, Boy Green daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. J-E-T-S. Jets. Boy.
Watching the Super Bowl season with Boy Green, I still believe, baby. I still believe. I know. Sorry, I got distracted by the hep song. I didn't even put up the call-in link. Sorry about that. I was just jamming out back here. So let me put that in there right now, baby. Call into the show here. We're also over 7,000 subscribers. Thank you to everybody who subscribes to the show. Thank you very much. Means a lot. That call-in link is now live. It's pinned to the top of YouTube, youtube.com/boygreen25. Shout out to the 700 people that are watching. We appreciate it. We're live every single day at 7:30 in the morning. Hopefully you guys can start making us a part of your morning. We'd appreciate it. If you are watching, though, on Facebook or Twitter, you have to jump on over to the YouTube channel to call into the show. There's a pinned comment. While you're there, like the video, hit subscribe, baby. All right, let's go to the phone lines. We got a lot of people that probably have a lot of things to say coming off that Vikings game. Let's go to NY Jets FL first. Here we go.
Hi, Paul. Happy Monday morning.
Quite. Well, no.
I'm not going to rehash anything from yesterday.
Okay.
Let's just so disgusted as usual with that kind of play. You know, I am willing to trade Malachi Corley to the Chiefs if it facilitates two things. One, I want Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals. They're 1-4. They're out. Okay.
Yeah.
Secondly, if you can get Davante, I'll trade him to, I don't know, I'll trade Corley to any team in the NFL in order to get those two players. Because it would help greatly to have an experienced defensive tackle on that line. It really would help, and a productive one, because you got all these UDAs. And I'm not criticizing them because I think they played decently yesterday. That wasn't really the issue there, I don't think. Yeah. Denver's a playoff team, by the way, so you got to look at that loss as a they are a fringe playoff team. Maybe even, I don't know what's in that division anymore. Who knows?
That's a good point.
I could say they could beat the Chiefs right now, the way they're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, Quincy Williams showed me a lot in the press conference. I wasn't
good or
go
bad?
Yet. Awesome. Because Quincy Williams knows. I think players are getting away with stuff they shouldn't be getting away with. I look at it like that, Paul. Might be yelling. Sorry. Hurricane watch. We're on hurricane watch here, so everything's like heightened. So, I don't know if he directly called Sal out, but he might have called out a few players that he doesn't think.
He called somebody out. I know he didn't say it specifically, but he said top to bottom. Like, because I re-listened to it this morning, I saw the clip. I'm like, let me just hear what Quincy Williams had to say, because that obviously revved a lot of engines around the league about people talking about the Jets. And he just kept saying top to bottom accountability, top to bottom. I'm tired of hearing the same shit, is what he said. So. Yep. That might have been Salah specifically. To your point, it might have been some players are getting away with things, or maybe it's both. I don't know. But boy, he was willing to say things that other people weren't willing to say. He said the quiet part out loud, it seemed like.
Yep. By the way, the Bills are definitely beatable. Josh Allen's not going to make the end of the season. That's 2 weeks in a row. He basically should have been in a hospital bed. Practically, any other quarterback would probably be out with an injury or concussed. So he still might be concussed, but he's not going to make the end of the season playing like that. He's getting killed. I think we have I think if we have some offensive production, we can win. We can win that game at least by a touchdown. I really do.
I
They're not that
100%
good.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not that good. So, and the Steelers, obviously, you saw what they have.
Yeah.
So let's not. It's upsetting what's going on, but we have to look at the division that, like you said this morning, it's not quite dire yet.
Mm-hmm.
Rodgers getting hit everywhere and looking like a 40-year-old. It's a little, I'm gonna say, concerning, but something. I actually thought Tyrod Taylor may come in for a couple series just to see what he could do. Just to
That's
give
what I
him
thought was going to happen, and it looked like it was destined. Outside of the roughing the kicker / roughing the punter penalty on Morstead, it would have been probably, I would imagine, if he got fully evaluated and then he's like, "Nah, I'm good," and then really didn't have to be. I mean,
I think Tyrod Taylor maybe could have won that game for them if he's 100%, because he could run that, at least run out of the pocket. You know what I mean? Rodgers was a dead sitting duck there. And one more thing, Paul.
Yeah.
Morgan Moses, I think that's going to help out continuity in the line finally. That's what I'm hoping. And CJ Mosley coming back this Monday. It's all going to help. But like I said, get me some Trey Hendrickson. I'll take Davante. And if you need to trade Corley, I don't care who you need to trade. I must set F and trade Sauce Gardner if you have to. Because I'm going to, I almost want to sign DJ Reed over Sauce Gardner right now. I'll be honest with you.
Wow.
Have a good day, Paul.
I appreciate it. Wow, that's spicy. Spicy. Yeah, I'll say a couple of things here. First off, not sure I agree with everything, but I love the passion. I agree with the let's get a pass rusher in here. For Pete's sake, if it's Hassan Reddick or God knows who, let's get another guy. Will McDonald gets his 6th sack. He's looking good. Great. Let's get more help. UDFA shout out Leonard Taylor III. I know we got a lot of Leonard Taylor III fans out in the audience, man. A lot of Leonard Taylor III fans out in the audience. He looked nice. But yeah, Davante Adams, sure, let's make that happen, and let's see what else. If you're going all in, go all in. Go all in, baby. I think that's the way to do it, for certain. But yeah, DJ Reed's been balling. He deserves love. I don't believe that they're going to re-sign him, unfortunately. I think it is what it is. I think he's gone now, which is unfortunate because he's played very well. But yeah, and it's good to know we have Tyrod, but I'd rather, again, to me, it's like I live in New York. That's volcano insurance. Like, what are the chances of volcano erupts all over my house? Probably slim, because I don't even know what the closest volcano is, but it's nice to have. I'd rather never see the volcano insurance, but it's nice to know you have it with Tyrod Taylor. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We got Axios here on the show. What's up, pal? You're on mute. I think you got to flip it. Yeah,
how's that? Better?
Yeah, gotcha. Yep.
Hey, I usually am in Albania, so I never get a chance to do this and call into your show. Been watching you for a long time.
I appreciate that. Thanks, man.
One of the things that if you've seen me in the comments, you've seen me on SNY, I inherited being a Jets fan. My father, my grandfather, back when they were the Titans.
Wow.
I just got to say that we got to get Carter the hell out of here. Period. So I'm taking a little extra time. We're up in Alaska currently. We're getting ready to go out on a boat, catch some fish.
Nice.
I had a couple moments to call in and say, this guy is crap. He's horrible. He was horrible at Tennessee. He never played the positions he's coaching. I know players from Tennessee, because I spent 15 years there, loosely associated with the NFL. And I can just tell you flat out, this guy is just not the guy. He's not a dude. You want to run game, got to have an offensive line that understands how to push the point of attack. You want protection, you got to have an offensive line that can stand up big boys. We got some big boys. You want a stream game, you need an offensive line. We have one. We bought one. And we bought a good one, I think. I mean, just stunning in my opinion. But This guy Carter is going to bring everybody down to his level. We were all gave him a pass during the offseason. We're like, oh, yeah, the offensive line looks pretty good in practice. Well, that's because we have 3 senior vets on the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
We fixed the Tippmann problems, but I said it then, and I'm going to say it again.
Mm-hmm.
If you want Breece Hall if we want to continue to do this inside zone run that fails every single time, if we want to even look at an outside zone run, which fails every single time, although Breece did have one decent outside zone run between the tackles and the guards there on the right-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to get it real. We're going to have to get real about the offensive line coaching, not the players. And granted, some of it is on the players, but this guy is worthless. And I know that's we roll up, we roll down, Coop rolls downriver, downstream. This guy's got to go. That's all I wanted to say. I waited a year and a half to be able to call in to say this exact point. Get rid of that dude sooner better than later.
Beautiful. Axios, thanks for the call, man, and thanks for supporting the show. We appreciate it. Yeah, Keith Carter is not popular among Jet fans, and apparently not among Jets players, as we heard Rich Cimini say in his podcast. He heard from several Jets players complained about him in his process. But yes, our elixir we thought would be like, well, okay, this stinks. We as fans aren't firing him because we don't have that power, obviously. But the thing that was motivating is like, well, they got Tyron Smith. They got, Morgan Moses. They got a few of these veterans on the team where you say, well, that'll be able to kind of sway the room. Like that'll overpower the stink. And obviously that has not happened. So some great points by Axios there, for sure. All right, let's go back to the phone line. We got NY Jets Indy here on the show.
Hey, Boy Green, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for calling in, man.
Hey, man, first time calling in. I watch the show all the time, man.
Oh, thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. My thoughts on the game, man. I just don't believe Robert Saleh is the guy, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look at 2 weeks in a row, and that's the second. Quincy Williams and you got Aaron Rodgers. That's 2 players that are saying guys need to be held accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at other teams. You're not hearing anyone say that about Andy Reid, Mike Tomlin, Harbaugh. You're not hearing anybody say that. And when you look at the team,
mm-hmm.
I just don't think he's the guy, because you look at the Denver game.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you not give the ball to Braylon Allen on the yard line? Why are you here? You're hearing the play call. Like, at what point do you as a coach say this sucks? No, run this play. Like,
mm-hmm.
overstep it. You
right.
look at the game. You look at the game yesterday,
mm-hmm.
and we look lifeless the first half.
Mm-hmm.
And at what point do you get to the play calling? Just is so predictable. I'm looking at the game. I watched it from snap to snap,
mm-hmm.
and the running plays are just so predictable. With Breece Hall, you're not getting the ball in space. We don't do a jet sweep. We don't do an outside zone run. We don't do a screenplay. Yeah, I'm just looking at it, and I'm just like, another thing that drove me crazy was, what the hell was that play on third? And it was like we were in field goal range, and he went for it. And I'm like, we were down 10-0. I'm like, why not take the field goal? And you cut the lead. You cut the lead to 7, and you call the same play you just called on third down.
And they were all over it too. It had no chance of success. It was terrible.
It had no chance. And it's like, you look. Say if we had those 3 points at the end of the game, we could have at least kicked the field goal, and who knows what would have happened in overtime. Maybe we would have won. Maybe we would have lost. But I just think if we had a better coach, we would be. I think we would be what, 3-2 now, 4-1.
Sure. It could, yeah, definitely. There is a strong argument to make. It could have been either of those things. Both of the games of the last 2 weeks were certainly in the balance, and coaching certainly comes into question for a decider in each of those games. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's all I want to say. I just don't. It's not so much with the talent with this team. I just don't think that they know how to properly use them. And I think that we need more emotion in our offense because it's too stagnant. It's so set. It's like you know what's coming. And I think Rodgers. I got to put some of that on Rodgers too because we need more motion to help him out. And what I see with our offense is he tries to fit the ball into tight windows, which there's nothing wrong with that. I know he can still do it, but I feel like you need to kind of use motion to kind of scheme guys open to where he can get them the ball in space instead of trying to throw them back shoulder throws that are difficult catches to make.
Yeah, the thing I don't understand to your point is one of my favorite plays, and I'm sure the moment Davante Adams arrives, hopefully in the next 24, 48 hours, one of the plays they love running is they motion Davante Adams. They're like, is this man or zone? And once they do, they're like, Davante, go. There must be some giddy up where he speeds it up and he's running in motion. They hike the ball and he just does a quick little flat route. It's man. He's wide open. And Rodgers just hikes it and throws it out to him. And it's either a big gain, it's in the red zone for a touchdown. It's just getting yards. And those are just easy things that are in the offense where they just get yards instantly. So there's never no more of this 3-and-out bullshit that we've been getting way too often with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. That's a thing. And they used motion all the time for those kind of plays. I don't get it.
Yeah, it was actually a play like that at the Denver game. I was actually at the Denver game. It was a play like that on third down when they did that. They motioned Garrett. It was on 3rd and 1. Matter of fact, they motioned Garrett. He was wide open, but Aaron Rodgers didn't throw him the ball for whatever reason. So it was on 3rd and 1. I saw it at the game. I went back and watched the film, and I'm like, dude, you had him right there open. And it's just I don't know, man. I just think that I'm not gonna say the locker room is lost.
Sure.
But I feel like that how can you look at as if I'm a player in that locker room, right? How can I look at Robert Saleh and really cling up and really listen to his message when I see him not holding guys accountable?
100%, because if you don't, then all of a sudden the whole house of cards can fall over quickly. If people are on their shit and you're not holding them accountable, then that opens the door for other players to go, oh, so I don't have to do my job. And then all of a sudden that's where locker rooms get lost and all hell breaks loose and seasons get lost. So, that shit needs to be cleaned up right quick like.
Right. Exactly, man.
Well,
so
I want to say NY Jets Indy, thanks for calling in for the first time. Hopefully not the last time. Thanks for the support, buddy. We appreciate you.
Okay, I thank you. Appreciate it.
There you go. Another caller calling in for the very first time. I like it. The phone lines are open for first-time flyers or someone's cashing in their Chase Blue points for being a frequent flyer. We appreciate you all the same, baby. Here on the channel, again, we got 800 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe, spread the good gospel. Boy Green Daily. We appreciate you. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We got from trucker to trucker, Easy now on the show. What's up, Easy?
Good morning, Paul.
What's going on?
Oh, my God. Well, we had a great breakfast at Rally Point Pub yesterday. It was amazing. We had a lot of people. We had almost 50 people. It was great. The energy was good.
Mm-hmm.
In the pub, not so much on the pitch in England.
No. That was left somewhere else, perhaps. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers was playing like Sam Darnold as a rookie.
Yeah, it was
Sparks
bad.
of greatness followed by boink, boink, boink.
3 picks, man. Brutal. I thought those days were over. And, man, the first one, pick 6, Aaron Rodgers just got. He got confused. They did it. So, boom, that one sucked. And then the second one, he sailed over to Allen Lazard. Breece Hall was wide open, and they were getting close to scoring range.
He missed 3 wide open guys for big plays. Lazard dropped 4 passes, including that's now 3 touchdown passes that Lazard has dropped. 3 touchdown passes. Now, I know it wouldn't have been an easy catch, but it hit him in both hands. Hits you in both hands. You're a professional football player in the United States of America. You're one of the 3,000 best players in the world at the sport. You've got to catch it.
And we don't talk about this one, but okay, so Rodgers throws the pick 6. Let's rewind to the play before. Aaron Rodgers hit Allen Lazard, which would have put us in the red zone. Thus, that pick 6 could have never happened because they wouldn't have been running that blitz coverage.
He dropped that first down.
100%.
He dropped the first down.
100%.
Do you think if it was any other player than Alan Lazard, Rodgers would never throw him the ball again?
You're right. But because it's Lazard, his buddy, he gave him multiple chances.
He's
So,
he's killing us. Now he does have some great catches too.
Sure,
So it's
yeah.
like, but with Lazard, it's like pulling the one-armed bandit in Vegas. You never know what you're gonna get. You cannot have that. Not on a third down.
Definitely not.
And remember, we were talking. I think the other day we were talking about Corley and what they did with Mims.
Yes.
What is it with these guys that the guy has to know every freaking play of every position to get on a
right.
Makes no sense. Because at this point, I would just tell Corley, just study the X or just study the X and Y. Just get those two down and then put them on the field.
Because like Xavier Worthy, I'm going to bring up a random Chiefs example. Like he's a super fast guy that they drafted in the first round. And does he know every position? I don't know if he does or doesn't, but it doesn't seem like it. And Andy Reid is just utilizing his skill set, saying, okay, Xavier, we're going to use you in these packages. That's what a coach is supposed to do.
He knows how to use a corner and a post.
Yeah,
he knows how to run fast as hell 30 yards downfield.
Which seems pretty valuable, you'd say. So, right, Allen says it, that the coaching staff has no clue how to use its personnel. That would just be something I'd like to see.
Come on, do you think Al Toon knew every single play? Do you even think Don Maynard knew every single play? It was like Namath would say to Maynard in the huddle, if you got one-on-one, either do a post or a corner, I'll know which one you're doing.
Maynard maybe because he's a Pro Football Hall of Famer, but some of the other guys, I don't know. But it was tough.
I just don't understand.
We've seen.
Yeah, and I just don't understand. It's they didn't do enough blitzing. I thought they did do my suggestion. Remember, I said they should have a 5-man line. Mm-hmm. They did do the 5-man line a couple of times.
They also did the nickel blitz. Isaiah Oliver had a great sack on old Sam Darnold. That they had the nickel blitz, which was quite nice. That worked situationally.
But I'm one of these guys that thinks that Joe D put a good product on the field, and unfortunately, I don't think that they're coaching these guys up very well, or like everyone's been talking, the accountability factor, where when these guys make mistakes, they don't get held accountable. I remember didn't Parcells used to have the kangaroo court where in the team meetings on Tuesdays, they would fine them and stuff?
That sounds really familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have to do something. It's just because otherwise, I think Salah should lose his job. I think the offensive line coach is terrible. Keith Carter, he's terrible. And obviously Nathaniel Hackett. But I think they should, if they go in season, you promote Ron Middleton. I love our defensive coordinator. He's good. There's no reason to lose him. That's why I don't want to promote him to interim, because the defense is the solid thing. You don't want to rock that boat. But I like Middleton as a fill-in if we need be.
All right. We'll keep an eye on Ron Middleton. I would just say this, folks. We have the Hep song, like, watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. Hey. I still believe in the Super Bowl possibilities for the New York Jets. And the reason for that, or just something to add to this, so I believe that the Jets could still win the Super Bowl and make everything happen. How many interim coaches have won the Super Bowl? And I could give you a spoiler alert because I feel pretty confident saying this. None. So Ron Middleton or Jeff Ulbrich or anybody, you have to ride the boat. You have no choice. Now, again, a Keith Carter firing or like throwing someone off the boat, okay, that's fine. But you're playing for first place in the AFC East a week from today against the Buffalo Bills. You lose that one, drop to 2-4. Okay, let's have some hard conversations. You win that one, you're in literal first place in the AFC East. And think about this. You would have the head-to-head tiebreaker against the Bills. You would be 2-0 in the AFC East. And who gives a flying hoot whatever happens with the Dolphins next week, which, by the way, let me pull that up just to see real quick. who the Dolphins play, because they ended up squeaking by the Patriots yesterday. So Dolphins schedule. All right, they play the Colts. Let's see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen there. I believe the Dolphins actually are going into a bye week. So that's October 20. Yeah, it looks like the Dolphins are heading into a bye week, so they don't have a game this upcoming week. So so the Jets will be in first place all to themselves, regardless of what happens. Dolphins have already lost to the Bills anyway in the AFC East, but they have a bye week this upcoming week. Tua still has to miss another game. He still has to miss another game, and then he is eligible to return for the Cardinals game. That's October 27th. So the Jets are in prime position, baby. Long story short, they will have first place in the AFC East on the line. Everything is there for the New York Jets. Let's see what happens. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We got Johnny Boy here on the show. What's up, Johnny?
Boy Green, what's going on, brother? How you holding up, man?
Oof. Everyone else is not holding up well, it appears.
Yeah, well, you know how it goes, man. It's that whole, a little graph that me and Uncle had up there. After the game, the sky is falling, the world's ending. Jet season is not. Look, I say this. The last two games, 96 attempts. You got Aaron Rodgers throwing.
That seems a lot.
That's not sustainable whatsoever. This last game, 54 attempts.
Ooh, wow.
Anybody that's ever played that sport, you giving 54 attempts, you know damn well there's going to be some picks that are going to happen in that, right?
Yeah.
He's been sacked already 8 times the last 2 games. He's been hit over 20 times in the last 2 games, okay? People are like, oh, he's playing like a 40-year-old dude. He's getting his ass whooped. It could be a freaking 20-year-old back there. Put Daniels back there, Jaden Daniels, and let him get hit that many times. And you guys tell me what's gonna happen. The coaching, the O-line itself, we're missing Morgan Moses. It's the truth. Oh yeah, man, dude, I'm just.
You look incredibly comfortable, Johnny.
I am, man.
You're like a Snuggie going on there. What is happening there? Yeah.
Just got my hoodie on, but.
Anywho, yes, go ahead. That's fine. Uncle Tio chiming in. Yeah, go ahead.
You know how Unc is, man. I got anyways, Fashionable.
Yes.
Right. The pick 6 play of it itself that happened with Van Ginkel, that was on Fashionable, right? They did the whole, and this goes back to the coaching piece of it. They knew that Aaron was gonna audible out to a slant, and he was gonna go ahead and act like they were gonna blitz, roll back out, and then intercept the ball. That's coaching. At some point, there's going to be that play itself. Why is it that our coach can't do some crap like that? Okay, say that, and then I'm worried about our D line. Yes, is our defense? Should we worry about our defense right now? No, because they're doing good, right? But again, it's not sustainable, man. Dude, we got UDFAs that are playing on our line, man. And all that. Other than Will McDonald, can everybody really name our edges?
Michael Clemens, who, by the way, had a nice sack yesterday. Very nice. Shout out to Michael. But I get your point though, that we're not having. We don't have a lot of needle movers right now. Will McDonald got a 6 sacks, so he's doing awesome. But there's not again, that's what goes back to the Reddick thing or the Trey Hendrickson thing, which by the way is a great point by NYJ FL. The Bengals at 1-4. If they're looking to blow this thing up, 100%, I'm interested in Hendrickson or somebody coming in here because let's go all in. Let's get as many pieces in as many different areas as possible to increase our chances of winning. Yes.
Yeah. So and then the coaching piece of it, right? Now, I'm not being negative here whatsoever. I'm spitting just facts. This is factual stuff that you guys could go ahead and look, and you'll be able to go ahead and see, right?
Okay.
If we go against a Michael Tomlin, who do you put your money towards? Michael Tomlin or Coach Saleh?
Yeah.
Right? We're going to go against the Bills coach coming up.
Sean McDermott. Yeah.
Right? McDermott himself. Who are you putting your money?
I probably before this last game probably would have been McDermott, but boy, he's been doing some boneheaded things. But it's probably still McDermott, I guess. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, coaching wise,
I guess
not with enough none of the players or et cetera, right? So we're on agreement that we have a coaching problem.
Yeah,
and I don't get it. You had all the time. I understand that, Nate. I'm just saying though, as the sense of, I'm not praising McDermott whatsoever and all that. My whole thing is this: why the hell is our team never prepared going into a game and all that? That's my problem with this. And we continue to keep saying, yesterday I wanted more of a balanced freaking game. I don't want Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball 54 times, right? It's not sustainable. You cannot do that in the NFL. The cats that are playing are too smart and are going to adapt to that crap really quick, right? We got a dude that's like 6'25" and whatnot, weighs like 200 and something bills and all that could give you some stuff. Scheme up some plays for that. That goes to Hackett itself. It's the same crap that we continue to keep talking about every single week. Every week. Last week I was saying the same old ish. Keep on saying it now. Do I still think that we're going to make the playoffs this year? Hell yeah. I still believe it.
Great.
What I'm saying? Like, I still think, because our defense is always going to put us on there. I think one of the biggest problems is the chemistry that the wide receivers are having with Aaron Rodgers, too. I've not seen Aaron Rodgers that frustrated, and I don't know how long. I mean, this dude, every other play, he's holding his helmet. Even if he completes a damn ball, he's still like, damn, this should have been this way or that way. The Garrett Wilson touchdown, right? That was a play that was done by Aaron Rodgers that extended the play itself. And he was like, yo, go this way, bro. You're open and all that. So that's why the Davante Adams is intriguing, because that chemistry is already there. The Allen Lazard stuff and all that, right? You guys see the chemistry. He knows how Aaron likes the stuff like that. You saw the chemistry with him and Mike Williams. You know what I mean? Mike Williams is expecting the ball over the right shoulder, not the left. Yeah. Was it a bad ball? Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and stuff like that. But anyways, BG, I say this to say that
sure,
it's okay. Monday, if we win, it cures it all. Everybody's fine. We're in freaking number 1 in the division, and things are going to be a lot more easier. But when you lose, man, that Denver game hurts even more now because we lost this game against the Vikings and whatnot. So, all right, BG, I appreciate you, brother. This was a hard call, man. I didn't get to call yesterday or even really talk just because I was so pissed, and I was like,
I don't blame you.
I got to watch all my kids and, have them do stuff and everything. But you're the man, BG. And, hey, still JETS, baby. Jets. Let's go.
Love it, Johnny boy. And I love the honesty, people. Again, I'm glad that this can be a platform for people to share their opinions and takes and thoughts on all things New York Jets. Yeah, the reason why, so I get Johnny's point. Again, Mike Tomlin, he's a legend. Tomlin. Sean McDermott, for the most part, up until, did you guys see how he butchered the end of that Buffalo Bills Houston Texans game and then basically handed on a silver platter the win to the Houston Texans? Ugh. You would have made them use their timeouts. Like, all kinds of things could have changed. It just, Sean McDermott, for the overall Buffalo Bills run, you got to give him a lot of credit for rebuilding that Buffalo Bills brand. But recently, not great. Not great. All right, back to the phone lines. Let's go to him. B-Mac here on the program.
Oh, can you hear my TV? I can turn it down. Hold on.
No. Wait, let me try to see. No, I don't think so. No.
All right. Hey, sorry about that. I just want to. So, okay. Yeah, man. Ooh, I mean, another tough L.
Yeah, actually, maybe I can hear it a little bit. You can just turn it down a little. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, hold on.
Yep. Go. Here, let me play a music interlude as we're waiting here. Let me see. What do I got? Oh, how about a Jet chant, maybe? Okay. Oh, B-Mac, you ready? Oh, sorry. I can't. Oh, there you go. You're back. Yeah, you're back. I got you now. Yep.
Got you talked about positivity, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, man. Another look, man. I don't know what to feel about that game yesterday. I'm having mixed emotions. part of me is like, well, at least the Jets didn't crumble. At least they battled back. And then the other part of me is like, we should have won that game. If only Rodgers hit Gary Wilson on that wide open flat. And
he was so open.
Oh my God! And then we would have won. It would have been one of them Rodgers vintage comeback moments, and we all would be, saying that this team, we got great, they got hard, and it's just very frustrating, man. The first half, man, it's just so like it's just really like alarming that like it's just like last year again. Like it's like I'm watching Zach Wilson, offense, Tim Boyle, Trevor Siemian, man. It's like this offense has no creativity, no rhythm, no flow. You know what I mean? And the offensive line is not on the same page. It's him and Rodgers and Seaver is not on the same page. And Rodgers had a bad game. I'm not defending him. That was probably one of his worst games this year. Last week, I didn't thought he was bad against Denver. I thought he was like mid. I thought he was average. But I think this is his worst game so far this year. But the positive thing about that is that me being a Packer and watching with the Packers, he has those 3 interception games once a year. So I think this is the last time you will see him.
I don't even think it's once a year. I think that's only the 6th time it's ever happened to him ever. So like,
No. I'm talking about no. I'm talking about once a season. I'm talking about his career. I'm talking about once a season. Like he usually have those one stinker.
No.
Outlier games.
Oh, just a general. Okay, I see what you're saying. I was just saying he doesn't throw a 3-pick interception game once a season. I see what you're saying. You're calling it. You're generalizing a stinker in general of a bad game. I understand.
Yeah. I'm not talking about his career. I'm just talking about this. Like once a season.
It's not 3 picks, but it can be a bad game a year. I got
exactly. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It usually goes and cleans it up and gets better this season. So I think that's the last time you will see him play like that. It just happens, I remember Brady this year in Tampa. Brady had stinkers, 3 interception games and like that. It just happens. But the one thing I want to ask you is, and I know you might get annoyed with this question, but
okay.
A lot of people. But I know Roger played bad. There's no defending that. But do you think yesterday tells you that do you think yesterday confirms that he's washed and Father Time caught up with him?
No. People I know had that take, and they can have that take. People can have those conversations where they believe that that's true. But to me, no. I think he got the Andrew Van Ginkel play. He just got confused straight up. He thought he was blitzing. He wasn't. He knew where he was throwing it before he even snapped the ball, snapped it, and Van Ginkel backed right into the pick. So he got on that one. But no, I think it was a bad day at the office. I still believe in Rodgers. He had a lot of wow throws, and he's had wow throws with the Jets. He's just got to flush this one in London, to your point of having kind of like that bad game a year and resetting it. Now, I don't really want to take blame for this, but before the game, you know how they flash up the stats from the season? I was like, wow, Rodgers only has 1 pick. Not bad, I said to myself. Pretty good. And then he has 3 picks. And oh, geez. Well, there it is. So, because like as Jet fans, we're not used to we are used to like quarterbacks, their touchdown reception ratio being very close, being very similar, or a lot more picks than touchdowns. So it was kind of like, oh wow, 5 touchdowns this year, 1 pick for Rodgers heading into this game. Now it's 7-4. But the point is that no, I do not believe he's washed. I know some people already argued that before the game. They said he's washed, he's old, he's this or that. I don't believe so. So let's see what happens. Monday Night Football, home game, first place on the line. Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, I didn't watch all the Packers games, but a lot of them were in primetime that I got to see. Aaron Rodgers seemed to step up for the biggest moments, and this is the biggest game of the year.
And he took a beating too.
Now. He did. He got his ass kicked.
Yeah, man. Like he took his offensive line gotta step it up, man. Like I thought, like I know, like I know they had that picture of him where he was like down and drooling in pain, and he was shouting out, or I think he was yelling, right? Something like that when he was down to the ground. Like I thought he was never gonna get back up and play again, man. Like I thought that could be the end of him, and then. But like I tell you, man, this dude is tough. You know what I mean? Like he went in that number 10, and then once the Jets got the ball back, he just he just run right back out and said, "No, you ain't taking me out of this game." And he went and he battled through it. I mean,
hey, 1 second. Let's do this live here on the show. Ian Rappaport, we'll all hear it together. He apparently has some sort of some conversation on Davante Adams. So let's throw this up on the screen. This is Ian Rappaport here. Let's hear what he has to say about Aaron Rodgers.
A lot of good conversations going on. We'll talk about the conversations inside the Jets building in 1 second. But yes, Aaron Rodgers was banged up. Certainly a scary moment for the Jets quarterback. I wanted the same thing as you guys. Are we going to do this whole thing again where Rodgers gets there, we get all excited, and then is out for a long period of time? Does not seem to be the case. A low ankle sprain for Aaron Rodgers, and the fact that he has an extra day this week to get ready for Monday Night Football bodes well for him being able to play and obviously finish the game. Missed minimal time. But yes, let's talk about Davante Adams. Help could be on the way for the New York Jets. Could be today or tomorrow. That's how quickly this thing could happen. Davante Adams, my understanding is nearing full health from his hamstring. That would mean he is able to be traded. The Saints actually have been the most aggressive team as far as talking to the Raiders and trying to get Davante Adams, but the Jets are for sure in it. Now, there's going to be some more conversations today just about where they stand, how high should they go. The Raiders have been very clear privately they would like at least a second-round pick. Will the Jets go there? Will they get Aaron Rodgers, this big chess piece that he has been recruiting for the last several weeks? We will find out very quickly.
All right, there you go. The latest that just came out from Rappaport minutes and moments ago, excuse me. So there you go from Ian. So sorry to interrupt you, B-Mac. I just heard that come in.
Yeah, that's huge news, man. I think Rodgers needs Davante. You can tell. And I think him and him had that connection. Davante knows his offense. Mm-hmm. And I think Davante can actually help Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams too to help them get on the same page with Rodgers as well. And then the other thing is, so the injury, man. Rodgers is a tough son of a gun. You know what I mean? Again, he's very underrated as far as his toughness, but man, like the offensive line got to do a better job keeping him up, right? Because if he keeps taking hits and keep getting beat up, he's not gonna make it through the whole year, man. Like he's not. So hopefully the O-line can get their crap together. Especially, pass protection, they've been pretty good the first 3 weeks. These last 2 games, man.
Very shoddy the last 2 weeks. Yeah.
So, but do you think he will play next week against Buffalo or Rodgers?
Yeah, it looks like it. Saleh is speaking live right now as we're doing the show. He said the preliminary test on Rodgers all look good to go. He'll give an update in a couple of days, so he looks fine. And Michael Carter II got hurt in pregame warmups, and we'll get another update on MC2, it looks like, on Thursday. So, he looks good to go, thankfully.
Yeah, well, I just want to say about this Buffalo game real quick.
Sure. Okay.
The Bills are struggling. Also, they got their own issues. I think Josh got banged up too. He might miss.
Oh yeah, he definitely did. Yeah.
If he's in concussion protocol, so you might see Mitchell Trubisky out there. And if that's the case, man, if you lose to Mitchell Trubisky, you have to fire Robert Saleh. You have to. You know what I mean? Because that's unacceptable. But look. I think, I think the saving grace for this Jets team is that the rest of the conference sucks ass. So I think that's one thing y'all can hit your head on. But as far as that, man, this team still has a lot of issues and problems. And like I said, they might get to the wild card round and maybe win a wild card game, but I don't think they go into the Super Bowl.
Fair enough. We'll see if that is indeed the case. A long time before we get to any of there. But let's keep going on the phone lines. Heb joins us here on the show. What's up, Heb?
Hey, Paul. We get Davante in here. We also have to realize that's going to be raise G-Dub's game as well, not only in the standpoint as far as taking pressure off, but as well as mentoring him, telling, Davante saying, this is what Rodgers looks for all the time. He's looking for this. He's looking for that, And so, I think that will help. And I was wondering, since Rodgers is kind of beat up, and that it looks like Josh Allen might not play on Sunday. If that was the case, I know it's such a must win. I already know the answer, but do you rest Rodgers?
No,
You know?
no. But I get in theory what you're saying, though. I see what you're saying. Like it's almost like, and I use this movie reference too much, uncomfortably so. But in Beverly Hills Ninja, it's Chris Farley and it's Martin Tanley. And at Martin Tanley is trying to fire his gun. There's no bullets left, so he throws the gun aside. And Chris Farley has 2 samurai swords, and he goes, "Okay, I'll also throw my weapons aside." Even though, like, Tanley's the one that didn't have the bullets, but he throws them aside, and then let's just fight on even Steven playing field. So right, the Bills don't have Josh Allen. We're like, fine, we'll go backup for backup. Tyrod Taylor versus Mitchell Trubisky. Who doesn't want to see that on Monday Night Football? We're first place on the AFC East on the line, and throw that aside. But no, like as long as Rodgers is good, and it appears he is very good, we'll see on the Josh Allen thing. To your point, it looked like he got both his ankle and head evaluated. That looked very scary. It looked like he got knocked out unconscious when he hit the ground, which is freaky. It's a freaky triggering for me as somebody who has been knocked out before on some of his concussions. So like that looked bad. But no, I would say he's good to go. But I like the creativity of your thought, Hep.
All right, we're still in it. I mean, we win next week. We're in first place. So, turn those frowns upside down, fellas. Let's go.
There it
out.
is. There's Hep watching that Super Bowl season with Boy Green. Here we go, baby. We'll rev back up the engines this week. Back to the phone lines. We got Indy Jets here on the show.
Boy Green.
What's going on? Oh, we got another. I guess we have 2 separate Indy Jets here. I'm going to be honest. That threw me off when I saw someone in the green room with like a Indy Jets name. I was like, what the? So no, the OG Indy Jets is here. What's up, pal?
I'm hoping I'm the only one. I don't think the world could take 2 of me.
Yeah, that may be true. What's on your mind, Indy?
Here's a question: When do we bench Breece Hall and start Allen as the starter of the right now? Breece Hall has not. He has no explosive in him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I don't know if it's a mental thing, physical thing. What's going on? But there's something wrong with him.
Mm-hmm.
Allen has half the carries and only 50 yards less.
Wow.
I mean, Allen only has 30 some carries and 150 yards, and Breece Hall has 67 carries, something like that, and 190 yards.
Wow.
Okay, so I mean, and every time Allen's on the field, he's gaining 4 plus yards,
mm-hmm.
and they take him out. Breece Hall goes in there. And maybe it's just they're focusing more on Breece Hall and not Allen yet. I don't know, but right, if Allen, if it's working, why do we keep pulling him?
I don't know. It must just be for feels of the Breece Hall thing, and if it is, that's a very shitty reason to not be putting in the best guy at this current moment.
Yeah, can you imagine Mike Tomlin or Coach Reed saying, you know what, we've got the best player out. We got a player that's producing, but I kind of feel for this guy, and we're gonna, and maybe that's it. And this is why we all struggle with the coach.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not making good decisions, and he hasn't made good decisions for how many years. And we've all kind of talked about it, and we swept it under the rug because we've had such bad quarterback play, we've had such offensive line. It all looked bad, so he could look bad, and we kind of swept him under the rug.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have that excuse anymore.
Definitely not.
He's got an Aaron Rodgers. He's got a better offense as far as on paper goes. He's got 2 good running backs. He's got what more does he need to shine as a coach? And he's still doing the same things. What do we do? I mean, should we go ahead and make a decision in the middle of the season? And
Maybe at some point, like I said, I don't think because of the rest of the AFC East, whoever mentioned that earlier, I think there's BMAC that said the AFC is ass or the AFC East. Like the fact that I'm like stunned that the Jets have a chance to be fighting for first place in the AFC East in week 5 or week 6, excuse me, after everything we've seen so far. It is like jaw dropping. So, the Jets have to take advantage. If they don't, they drop to 2-4. That's where I think a lot of hard conversations happen of someone getting canned somewhere on the coaching staff.
Yeah, when do we see some fire out of the coach, and say, hey, you know what, be pissed off at everybody. I don't care what he has to do.
I think it's annoying for some people because after the game, people in the media were like, "Oh boy, so what's going on?" And Sal kept going, "We got plenty of time. We'll figure it out. It's still early. It's still early." And I think what people wanted to hear was him saying, "We need to F and move. We need a sense of urgency here. Like these problems are happening, and I'm going to get it cleaned up. I'll tell you that." Like that to me would be more inspiring to the fan base in our conversations now, as opposed to him just saying, "It's early. We'll figure it out. It's early." It just feels like he's kind of brushing it aside, and that's rubbing a lot of people the wrong way.
Well, and we're just fans. Is he doing that? Is he doing that to the players? Is this why, the first quarter of every single game this year, we look terrible?
Yeah.
Because he has, if he can't do some, give the fans who don't play for him, we make we're the ones spending money. If he can't give us a little inspiration, man, maybe he's not even giving the players inspiration.
It's a fair point, Indy Jets. It's a fair point. Is he? Because to a certain extent, what happens at the podium? That's why I haven't really beat him up about yesterday because, that's for us. What really matters is what he's saying to the players, and if that's inspiring them, then who gives a flying hoot about us? But I'm questioning whether the players are being inspired right now. Let's get to one last call before I run to the radio station. It is the legend himself, Ricky New York, live here on the show. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, how's it going, Paul?
Yeah, we've had better days.
Right. Now, the last thing that I want to hear from Robert Saleh is that we're close.
Right.
However, rewatching that and watching the highlights, I think we're close.
Okay.
That Lazard drop touchdown was a killer. The interception at the end of the game, Rodgers threw it a little bit behind Mike Williams. If he had put it out in front of him, that probably would have been a touchdown, but Gilmore just made a good play on that one. But, I saw a lot of positives. The defense was playing really well, and Sam Darnold did not beat us. We beat ourselves.
We did.
He had some wide open throws that he missed today, too. What I saw when I watched it, I didn't think he made some good plays. Don't get me wrong. However, Justin Jefferson is making him look good.
For sure.
There's no two ways about that. And that's what I really took away from watching that. Justin Jefferson made some crazy catches. He's making Sam look good. But yeah, I think we are close. And I have to kind of disagree about Breece Hall a little bit. I know that he hasn't performed the way that I thought he would and the way that we want him to. But, and Allen has gotten yards when he's in there, but I think the two situations are different. The situations when Allen is in there. And, maybe teams aren't expecting him. When Breece is in there, teams are expecting him to get the ball. And, bottom line is our offensive line has got to play better. Rodgers and these guys have got to get on the same page. And the thing that really killed us, I think, today was the fact that, the first couple of possessions, just three and out, and that the slow starting shit has got to get figured out.
So annoying.
That has got to get figured out. But even that being said, we had a chance to win this game. And the other thing is, if you look around the league, most kickers aren't making, multiple 50-yarder field goals in a game. And that guy happened to hit two of them today.
I was hoping I had finger crossed every
one
time.
of the two, If
I know.
made the first one, he probably would have missed the second one, but that guy happened to make both of them. But, like I said, even at the end, still we had a chance to win that game. And I agree with you. After what we've seen, especially the last 2 weeks, and the Patriots game was so promising, and then we really crashed back down to earth. But to think that we're playing for the division next week is just nuts. But Buffalo is not looking good either. And that's the thing. Miami's a mess. Buffalo has not looked good at all. and the Patriots stink. This division is ripe for the taking, and it just pisses me off that we haven't taken advantage of that. Like, we should be up 2 games right now.
Correct. Not like going, oh wow, we stumbled into a first place battle. We should have clearly been in first place while the others were falling, and we had that opportunity of the last 2 weeks.
Absolutely. That's the way I look at it. Is we should be going into Monday night with a 2-game lead on everybody else. Instead, we're playing for the division. But you know what? All things considered, we're damn lucky to be playing for the division. And
very lucky.
Being that we are, though, it's time for the O-line to step up. It's time for guys to make plays, and no more slow starts. And it's time for everybody. They keep saying we'll get it figured out. Well, now's the time you need to figure it out. Enough is enough. No more excuses. Just go out and get it done.
I appreciate it, Ricky, New York. Here's the one thing I want to throw up for the people in our audience that are saying, Davante Adams wouldn't help. What I'm about to show on the screen are critical drops that happened in the game yesterday that wouldn't have happened if Davante Adams was in. Let's throw this up on the board here. Let's take a peek. Shout out to NY Jets fans only on Twitter. Look at these drops. I'll take myself off the screen so you guys can see. Disgusting. Thank you to NY Jets fans only for sharing that. All right, we got to go. Thanks to the 900 people that are in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe, spread the good gospel of Boy Green daily if you can. We'll be back on tomorrow morning at 7:30 or perhaps at another time today for a breaking news Davante Adams podcast. That is possible. We'll keep you posted on that. I actually have some baby meetings today, baby appointments and things of that nature. Those are every Monday until my baby boy is born next month. So the Davante news will probably go down as I'm at the doctor's with my beautiful fiance, getting checkings in on the baby. So if that is the case, then I will not be doing a breaking news podcast. I'll be at a hospital. But nonetheless, everybody, it was cathartic. I appreciate everyone getting everything off their chest. It made me feel a little bit better. And just know, a week from today, we'll be doing a game day preview of the New York Jets, Buffalo Bills, AFC East supremacy being on the line. Let's go. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.